guards don't speak as they march you forward, their eyes fixed ahead, unwilling to meet yours. You can hear the cries of the others behind you, the other tributes, terrified and sobbing. But you keep walking. You have to. You volunteered for this, not because you're brave, but because someone had to. The tunnel yawns open before you, a gaping stone throat carved beneath the palace. They say no one ever returns from the labyrinth, that it shifts and breathes like a living thing, that at its heart is a monster, neither man nor beast, and that it's always hungry. As the gate slams shut behind you, you unspool the thread tied to your belt and whisper a prayer, not for survival, but for revenge, for justice. Because tonight, you face the Minotaur. My name is Andrew, and this is Legends Untold. So today, we're diving into a little bit of Greek myth. We're kind of keeping it fresh here a little bit. I've talked about Greek in some other videos, like Greek legends and Greek lore and the gods in some videos, and like the origin of the gods in some videos. So why not just dive straight in to some of their biggest lore here? So today we're going to talk about the Minotaur, and we're going to touch on, because it involves Poseidon, we're going to talk about the Bull of Minos, and we're going to talk about some other things, because the Bull of Minos is really what kind of spawned the whole Minotaur mythos. So go grab yourself something to drink, grab something to snack on, and come hang out with me while we talk about the Minotaur. The story of the Minotaur begins not with the monster itself, but with a man's pride and a god's fury. Minos, one of the sons of Zeus and Europa, was a mortal prince vying for the throne of Crete. To prove that the gods favored him, Minos prayed to Poseidon, a god of the sea, asking for a sign that would make his right to rule undeniable. Poseidon responded. From the foam and salt of the waves came a spectacular white bull, powerful, radiant, and clearly divine. Everyone saw the bull and agreed. Minos was chosen by the gods. But then, he made a fatal mistake. Instead of sacrificing the bull back to Poseidon as promised, he chose to keep it. The bull was too beautiful, too perfect. Minos couldn't bear to give it up, so he hid it among his herd and offered a lesser animal in its place. Poseidon wasn't fooled, and when the gods are disrespected, they don't punish you directly. They destroy what you love. They rot you from the inside. Minos' wife, Queen Pasiphaë, was a powerful woman of her own right, a daughter of Helios, the son of the god, and a practitioner of ancient magic, but even she was no match for Poseidon's curse. To punish Minos, Poseidon ignited within Pasiphaë a horrifying lust for the bull, not metaphorical, but literal. She began to have visions, dreams, compulsions. She wasted away with desire, her mind clouded with obsession. The curse was cruel, calculated, and irreversible. Desperate, she turned to Daedalus, the famed inventor and artisan who fled Athens after a scandal and now served Minos on Knossos. Pasiphaë begged him to find a way for her to consummate her monstrous desire. What he built is one of the strangest devices in myth, a hollow wooden cow covered in real cowhide. It was designed to fool the bull and conceal Pasiphaë inside. She climbed in, and the bull believed it. From that unnatural union, a child was born. Not a child in any normal sense. He was monstrous and twisted. Born with the body of a human and the head of a bull, a hybrid of passion, punishment, and perversion. They named him Asterion, meaning the Starry One, but the world would only know him as the Minotaur. At first, Minos tried to raise the creature. He hoped, perhaps foolishly, that some trace of humanity would shine through, but it didn't. The Minotaur grew violent, uncontrollable, and cannibalistic. He could not speak, could not be reasoned with. He attacked servants, even family. Minos was horrified, not just by the beast itself, but by what it represented, his own betrayal, and the god's power. So he turned again to Daedalus. This time, Daedalus built his masterpiece. The labyrinth was unlike anything the world had ever seen. an enormous underground maze of endless corridors, staircases, false doors, and traps. Some stories say it was alive. Others claim it changed shape on its own. But what's certain is, once you were inside, you never found a way out. Minos had the Minotaur locked away at the center, alone in the dark, surrounded by cold stone and silence. But even a monster cannot live on loneliness alone. The beast needed to be fed. Some years later, Minos' son Androgeus traveled to Athens to compete in the Pan-Athenaic Games. He was strong, skilled, almost too skilled. The Athenians grew jealous. Some say they murdered him outright. Others say they sent him to fight a wild bull, and the beast gored him to death. Either way, Androgeus died, and Minos was enraged. He sailed to Athens with his fleet and demanded justice. When they failed to deliver, Minos waged war and defeated them. As punishment, he imposed a terrible tribute. Every 9 years, or annually in other versions, Athens would send 7 boys and 7 girls to Crete. Their fate to be cast to the Labyrinth, to feed the Minotaur. Enter Theseus, Prince of Athens, young, brave, and determined. He volunteered to be one of the sacrificial youths, not to die, but to kill the beast. His plan was simple, but execution would require both skill and luck. When he arrived in Crete, he caught the eye of Ariadne, daughter of Minos and Pasiphaë. Whether through love, pity, or rebellion against her father, she offered to help. Daedalus had told her a secret. The only way out of the labyrinth was to never lose your way in the first place. So Ariadne gave Theseus a ball of enchanted thread. As he entered the maze, he tied it to the entrance and unspooled it behind him, marking his path. He wandered for hours, some say days, before he found the heart of the labyrinth, and there was the Minotaur. The encounter was brutal. The Minotaur, massive and hulking, was not mindless. It was furious and vicious, and it spent its life in darkness.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Theseus fought with sword and fist, dodging horns, claws, and gnashing teeth. In some versions, he only uses a club. In others, he strangles the Minotaur with his bare hands. Eventually, Theseus emerged victorious. The Minotaur lay dead at his feet. He followed the thread back out, escaped the labyrinth, and fled Crete with Ariadne. But he later abandons her on the island of Knossos, a betrayal that would come back to haunt him. When he returned to Athens, he forgot to change the sails on his ship from black to white, a signal to his father, King Aegeus, that he had survived. Seeing the black sails, Aegeus believed that his son was dead and threw himself into the sea. The sea would forever bear his name, the Aegean. The Minotaur isn't just a monster, it's a mystic archetype. He represents unnatural desire, dark urges that consume and destroy. The labyrinth symbolizes the human mind, full of twists, traps, dark corridors, and we often get lost in it. Theseus' journey is the archetypical hero's path, entering the unknown, slaying the beast, and emerging transformed. And the thread of Ariadne, it's hope, logic, and strategy, the only way to navigate the chaos. In ancient Crete, bulls were sacred. Bull leaping rituals appeared in Minoan frescoes. The Minotaur myth may be a cultural memory of these rituals, or even human sacrifices sanitized through storytelling. The Minotaur story is tragic, but not just for the victims, but for the monster itself. Born of a curse, shunned by its parents, imprisoned, and used as a symbol of fear. It was never given a choice, it was made into a monster. Thank you for joining me into one of mythology's most twisted stories. I'm Andrew, and this has been Legend Untold. Let me know down below what you think of the story of the Minotaur. If you have anything to add, put it in the comments down below. Remember to like, subscribe. Just a little bonus tip. Daedalus' son is Icarus, I believe. The one who flew too close to the sun on wings of wax, and then, that whole thing. I can do a script on that if you guys like. If you want me to dive into more Greek myth, let me know down below. I have a script on the Gorgons and the Curse of Medusa and all of that. That is going to get filmed probably right after this. So be ready for that one. But yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can pick up some merch from down below. You can also visit the PayPal link up in the bio. I changed the link so that it goes through Streamlabs. So when you click it, it goes into the Streamlabs tip page, and then you can tip through PayPal on there. It's just a way to track things more efficiently. Also, I started doing some things for when I stream. I've added StreamBot, so subs, memberships, tipping, and super chats all deal damage to the stream boss. And when you beat the stream boss, the person who beat the stream boss becomes the new stream boss. And then people can keep going at it from there to try and become the stream boss. Pretty cool. I've also added, it's called betting. It's where you do like I bet, and then you bet a certain number of points, and it rolls a 100-sided dice to see if you win. That is in there as well. I've added a bunch of stuff to stream. There are now markers to show, who is the top tipper, who tipped recently, recent subscribers, and stuff like that. So I'm looking to make streams more lively and give you guys something to do other than just sitting there watching me. So catch me on one of the lives, and we'll see how all of that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Leave your comments down below, and I will see you on the next video. Peace out.
In the halls of Knossos, deep red white, Queen Pasiphaë, with fate alive, a curse was born, the stars did weep, a labyrinth secret buried deep. The bull of Minos, a god's cruel jest, a twisted heart beats in his chest. A shadow, torn and torn. The Minotaur, both man and scorn. The queen's desire, the gods did twist, the union forged in twilight mist. From divine wrath the beast was sown, a tale of sorrow carved in stone. The queen's desire, the gods did twist, a union forged in twilight mist. From divine wrath the beast was sown, a tale of sorrow carved in stone. Echoes howl through the maze at night.